Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's Jamie here again, and I've been teasing a review that I wanted to do, and I was just waiting on the item for the review to show up, and it just happened to show up today. And I'm not gonna do one of those cheesy, corny unboxing videos. I will just tell you that it came shipped in incredible packaging. If you're familiar with the packaging of the OMD cameras, then the packaging for this next product will you'll recognize it. You'll be familiar with it. So the product I want to talk about today is going to be the new 40 to 150 f2.8. It's part of the mZuiko Pro line, and the minute it comes out of the box, you'll understand why. It's like the 12 to 40. The build quality is just it's top notch, and it is. You know how I like to do my reviews. My reviews are more it's strictly user based. I'm not a spec guy. I can quote specs all day, but that's not what I want to do. I'd rather just tell you about the experience of using it. First impressions taking it out of the box. It's heavy, but it's not heavy like you'd be expecting with a DSLR lens. It is completely manageable. I'm running with this on an OMD EM1 with the battery grip attached, so it balances out great. I walked around for about an hour and a half with it, just carrying it one handed like this. It felt really comfortable. It's definitely going to be the heaviest lens in your Micro Four Thirds kit. If you don't have any of the original 4/3 lenses, then this is going to be the heaviest lens you end up owning probably right away. Build quality, all metal construction. It's just it feels like metal. I'm not going to get into specs on it, but it's a tank. It's beautiful. Of course, tripod collar comes included with it, as does a lens hood. With any of the other lenses in the mZuiko Pro line, you can expect the lens hood to come shipped with the lens. Speaking of the lens hood, this is something that a lot of people were kind of interested in seeing the way this functions. So right now the lens hood is actually attached to the lens, and if you want to utilize the lens hood, you pull it out and it locks into place, and it locks into place with enough strength to support the gripped OMD EM1 with no problem. I actually had it sitting on my table downstairs earlier, just resting like that, just because it's kind of a habit to rest a lens that way. So how do you retract the lens? You turn it, actually, if you've got the lens out in front of you, you're going to turn it counterclockwise, and it just slides back. This little ring right here that looks like a focusing ring, it's knurled so you can get a good grip on it. That's what you're going to turn. And again, to extend it out and lock it into place, just pull it out until you hear it click. To remove it, just like any other lens hood, you're going to turn it clockwise and it'll just pop right off. So with the lens hood extended, it makes it, like any other lens, once you have the lens hood on it, it looks significantly longer. Like many of the other lenses, this lens does have a lens function button that's programmable. So for me, I tend to keep that on like magnify, so that if I'm zooming in on a subject far away and I want to make sure that the focus is dialed in and fine-tuned exactly how I need it, I have mine set to the magnify mode. Center pinch lens cap, you're familiar with that. It's exactly like the one for the 12 to 40. 72 millimeter filter thread on this lens, which is cool because I have a crap load of 72 millimeter filters from back in with my 4/3 glass. I think the 12 to 60 was a 72 millimeter filter thread, or the 50 to 200, one of those two. So I have a bunch of those lying around. They'll just pop right on with no step down ring needed, like I've been doing with all of my other 4/3 or Micro 4/3 lenses. Focusing with this, ridiculously fast. This is a production unit. I was told that there are 5 of them that were available in the US to ship out that were actual solid production units. So this has 1.0 firmware on it. So this is what you would expect when you get it, unless by chance there is some firmware update released in the interim, which I don't see there being a need for that, because from what I've seen with it so far, just general walking around, I haven't shot sports with it, but general walking around, people walking down the sidewalk, my dog running around out in the yard, no problem catching focus very quick. And it's funny because it is dead silent. I swear you hear almost nothing at all. And I've heard, a lot of the MSC lenses, the movie still camera lenses, those are quiet. This is just, yeah. Well, I actually have the beep turned on my camera, which is weird. I don't usually do that. You don't even hear it. So wicked cool. I'm going to be out shooting. My nephew plays JV football, and it's supposed to be just the worst weather possible. It's going to be cold and it's going to be rainy, and this is going to be exciting to use in that, because I'll watch a lot of the other people that are shooting just slink away into the sidelines or never even show up at all to shoot because they don't want to get their precious gear wet. But I don't mind doing that with mine. I don't know what else to mention about it. You've got the manual focus clutch like you do on the 12-40 and some of the other lenses. Solid snapback, really smooth. This actually feels a little different than the 12-40 to me. It's got there's a little more feel to it when you turn it. Feels more mechanical. I like that. I don't know. I don't have the 1.4 teleconverter yet, so I can't comment on performance with that. And in the bottom of the description of this video, I'll just throw up a few of my very first photos that I shot with this lens. Again, it's not going to be anything like crazy. It'll just be shots that I took walking around in the little town that I live in. People shots, shots of my dog in the yard. But from what I've seen so far, it's just incredible resolution. This lens is actually really close focusing. I think it's like 2 feet roughly. Somewhere on here it says 2.3 feet. So that's really close. You're darn near doing macro work with this lens at that point, because the 2.3 feet is not 2.3 feet zoomed back at 40 millimeters. The 2.3 feet is cranked all the way out to the 150 millimeters. So you can imagine how close you get with being 2.3 feet away and cranking this out to 150 millimeters. It gets you right in there. So cool for insects, which I'm a bug nerd, so I'll be doing some of that with this lens. Please do not hesitate to throw in questions. I want to answer as many of your questions as I possibly can about this lens, because I know a lot of people have ordered it, sight unseen. They just know what the promise of the lens is, and I want to be able to answer everybody's questions as soon as possible before they get their lenses. I'm excited. Yeah, I'm smiling. Face hurts from I was walking around with this smiling the whole time I'm shooting, because it was such a treat to shoot with. So I know you're going to love it when you get it. And again, I'll have some sports-oriented photos that I'll share as well, so just keep your eye out for that. Look me up on Flickr. Again, the link to my Flickr account will be in the bottom of the description for this video, so I'll be able to link you to photos shot with this lens. Again, shoot your questions my way. I really look forward to answering any questions you might have. You guys take care and stay tuned. There are more videos coming up soon. Bye.